I had a problem because,
Okay.
you know, I have an addictive personality, and it took until that. I just told Joe that story yesterday. That was the addiction that I finally went, you dumb motherfucker. Things that you really like that are bad for you, for some reason you gravitate towards, so stop. And my story to him was, I walked up to the craps table. It was probably 11 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday because I used to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12 hours a day. That was my shift. So the rest of the week I had off, and I would go to the casino and play craps. One day I got there, and in an hour and a half, I won $6,000.
Nice.
Now, I didn't really know what I was doing. The guy at the end of the table probably won close to $100,000.
Oh, fuck.
The guy next to him probably won $25,000 to $30,000 because I rolled for almost an hour.
Wow.
And I didn't know what I was doing betting wise,
Yeah.
so I just kept trying to follow what they were doing, but with not nearly as much money, right? At the end of that session, the guy at the end of the table gave me $500 tip, and his buddy gave me a $250 tip. That's how I know they want a fuck ton of money.
Right on.
3 months later, that money was gone.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how the casino works, right? That was my tip to say, here's what I'm going to do. The very next April, when I got my tax return, I stuck that in an envelope. And if I lose that, I can't gamble anymore, right? You got to set limits for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when people find out I gamble, automatically they think that's a negative thing. First off, sports betting actually makes me money. That's a profit center for me.
Right.
So sometimes I take that profit from sports betting and I put it in that envelope if I need to, right?
Okay.
That's my other source of income for gambling.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you have to have your mindset. I know where you were going. Most people are like, I don't want to lose my money. It just seems irrational.
Well, yeah, I just work too hard for it. And because of what I do for a living, there's no guarantee. I don't get paid every week or every 2 weeks like normal human beings do. I can go 6 months without getting a paycheck because I'm completely 100% dependent on the market. Doesn't matter how hard I work. Doesn't matter how much marketing I do, how much advertising I do, how much grinding I do. It doesn't
Well, for
matter.
lack of a better term, you're Chris Dunham Enterprises. Right. You're not getting a paycheck from anybody else.
No, and it's legit. It's all dependent on the market. Like and I have to fucking overcome people's rationalizations of, you know, this market's this market's that. And I'm like, well, it's really not. Like, it's just not. Like, you can't have a real estate market without buyers buying and sellers selling, and you need a buyer to buy the house that seller's selling. I was like, so.
Well, here's the same in Illinois. I just heard it on the news. They were crying yesterday about there's a shortage in inventory in homes. But if you listen to what they have been saying up until that news story, you would think that nobody could sell their home right now. You can't have it both ways. We've had this conversation before, but I literally just heard it, and I thought of you right away when they said that. They're like, people are just desperate to buy a home. Well, it's a re-election year for the governor, right? Now we're talking about, I'm going to solve that housing crisis that didn't exist 6 months ago. People are stupid, man. They're easily led.
It's clickbait.
Hold on. Let me rewind that. I got to stop saying that. People don't have time to be informed. It's not that they're stupid. They literally don't have time in their day to sit there and figure out that everything they hear is doublespeak. They might have only heard what I heard yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, for 6 months you've been telling me that if I wanted to sell my house, there's no way on hell you're ever going to sell your house.
That's